I want to see Dean cook a bunch of MAGA ladies. Can Dean Withers survive 20 MAGA women?
I think that we need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk.
Did you just...
Wait, why does she sound like that? Hey, yo, what the f? Is she doing anime voice? Come on, man. Come on, dude.
Ironically say strong alpha males?
We have laws in favor of women getting leadership roles. We're taking opportunities away from men. You are oppressed more than me.
Men are men, and men have testosterone, and men love beautiful women. And trust me, I would prefer a man that actually looks at women and is sexually attracted to women.
Dude.
They had to make things up to get Trump. Trump doesn't have to be a sexual predator. Any woman would love to be with Trump.
All right, listen, put your hand up if you would have sex with Donald Trump.
USA! What the f? Yo! Dude, come on, dude. Come on. Dude, what? Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, wow. Okay, Jube, you done did it again. Okay, the Jube blockade is lifted. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. But guess what? This blockade is lifted.
Has Donald Trump been a good president for women, or has America moved backward from expanding women's rights to debating how far those rights should go? I'm John Regalado.
I think that's, you're posing that as a question that could go in either direction, but no, there's only one answer to that. It's the second thing. As a matter of fact, you're literally doing that debate right now. That is the debate that's the premise of this video is that exact debate. Do women deserve less? How much less do they deserve? Do they have too much? It's so funny to go off the whole Foyd saga that we just had earlier into this video, because these are the women who are the fedayeen of that Foyd movement, the movement of the guys who say Foyd.
Jubilee Media, this is Surrounded, where one brave soul faces a room full of disagreeers. Today, we are diving into what feminism means on both sides of the aisle, abortion rights, and President Trump's record. I'm here with our featured guest, progressive commentator, Dean Withers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You ready to go?
Oh, I'm excited. This will be fun.
All right, are you all ready to debate Dean? Yeah! All right, let's get into it.
I'm Dean Withers. I'm a 21-year-old liberal. I do political debate for a living, and today I'm surrounded by 20 Trump supporters again. But this time, they're all women.
Damn, I should have done this. I would have done this.
My first claim is, men aren't better at leading than women.
If you would like to debate this claim, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Good to see you again.
Welcome back, Lori. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing phenomenal. So the first claim is that men are not better at leading than women. And I'm honestly appalled that you as a woman would disagree. But I mean, if you want to start it off by telling us why you do think men are better at leading than women, the mic is all yours.
Well, how I would like to start this off is I'd like you to define what a woman is.
Well, sure. I think that the definition of what a woman is ultimately irrelevant to this debate, and I'm willing I'm willing to pre-assume your definition of what a woman is, i.e. an adult human female. See, if I were to give you my definition of what a woman is, an adult human individual that pertains to the social and cultural characteristics typical that of a female sex indexed to their gender identity, well, then all of a sudden we're going to be speaking past one another because we define the word woman differently.
Exactly.
So I'm more than happy to pre-assume your definition.
In the first place is kind of silly because you don't know what a woman is.
Well, I just told you what my definition.
This is a woke nuke. Is this what the is going on the TikTok debates sphere? Is this the type of timing they're on? Bro, we are never getting a revolution in this country, okay? I don't even know if we're getting healthcare. I think we just lost more healthcare if this is what the youth, if this is the timing that the youth are on where they're just like, I mean, he's not wrong, but it's like crazy that this is the point of contention. What the And it's funny because he's trying to like speed through the process. He's like, yes, this is what a woman is for me, but I'll take your word for it. Isn't this your shit? Who thinks I do this? I told this man not to be so invested in the debate lord sphere and to like do some reading. And it's crazy that people think this is what I do. I mean, I said I would love to do this. I probably wouldn't do it like this, but How would you answer the question? I'd be like, a woman is what I think is a woman, okay? That's it. It doesn't matter. We'll go with whatever you think is a woman, and we'll continue the conversation that way. This is 2020 TikTok. He did say that. He just said it in the most debate lord way possible. Anyway, let's continue.
Definition of the word woman is.
You know, I think it would also depend on what leadership role that person would take. For instance, if you wanted Kamala Harris, who you voted for, to be the president of the United States, we have a problem with that, and I'll tell you why. It's not necessarily the woman, but it is.
This is also part of the reason why it's impossible to have these sorts of like real debates, because these guys don't have any investment in a mutual understanding. They don't have any consensus reality, and also no interest in actually talking to a person. All they want to do, the entire practice here, is to just occupy space and occupy time. It's crazy. I don't even think they're capable of agreeing or disagreeing with other human beings at this point. Conservatives just go on there and they're just like, well, you voted for Kamala and she's a woman and she's bad. It's like, okay, that's interesting. That's the point. That's the way you're going to address this point, because we're talking about a much broader point here. I don't know why you're using Kamala.
Necessarily foreign countries, for instance, the Middle East. If I go to a Middle East country as a woman, I can't show my hair at risk of being stoned.
Why are we talking about Middle Eastern countries when the prompt is men are not better at leading than women?
Because you're asking about leading. You voted for Kamala Harris. I think she would have been a horrible leader. Foreign countries don't always see women as respectful as they see a man. A woman.
What is that argument, dude? First of all, I want to know which country, because almost every other foreign country, including Muslim ones like Turkey or Pakistan, have had female heads of state many, many decades before we ever got one, and we still haven't gotten one. First of all, the idea that like, foreign country leaders don't respect women, so they won't respect our leadership if she is a woman, insane. You know what they do respect? Nuclear arsenal. The American nuclear arsenal. That's what they respect. It doesn't matter if it's a woman in charge of the nuclear arsenal or a man. It's so stupid. Also, one of the best leaders all around the globe right now is a woman, Claudia Sheinbaum.
Leading this country, for instance, when you go to doing foreign policy and all of those things, they would not have the respect that a man would. I can also say as a woman, depending on your age, if I've got PMS, honey, I'm going to make different decisions than I would.
Donald Trump is literally constantly exhibiting menstrual cramps, okay? He is literally one entire PMS situation. His entire presidency is like the most emotional, like what you would associate with like having, going through PMS or whatever. That's Donald Trump every day. Also, it is not lost on me that right-wing women so quickly go for the maximalist misogynistic talking points and just undermine themselves. Dean is too woke for this conversation. I'd be feeling like, all right, well, why are we having a conversation then? Why are you and I having a conversation right now if you're lesser than me? I don't play these woke games. I would deploy tactical misogyny at the direction of woke.
As if I didn't. If I'm going through menopause, I might have hot flashes or whatever else. I believe as a Christian woman, men are supposed to lead. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to help. And I'm totally comfortable with that.
Okay, well, thank you, Lori. So the first thing that I'd point out here is that your position that maybe foreign countries wouldn't respect a female president as much as a male president, I don't think is represented through the fact that on the global stage, Harris had a significantly higher approval rating than Trump during the election. And there's a reason for that.
Because she would have been a pushover. They would have walked right over her.
And that's exactly why she had significantly better policy, better character, would have been a better president for America.
Not at all.
But ultimately, once again, Lori,
failure.
The topic of debate is not, was Harris a better option for the president than Trump? Because even if we want to look at women and men on this macroscopic level of evaluating one woman compared to one man, even if it was true Harris was a clown and Trump was awesome, that still wouldn't mean that generally speaking, men are better at leading than women. The last point that you made there was about PMS, and I think that you're like indicating that women are more emotional than men on average.
They are. 100%.
Okay. Then tell me why men commit 92% of violent crimes. Tell me why they're more likely to self-unalive, commit suicide. So you think that testosterone is what makes men more emotional?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then you just conceded the debate.
No, I didn't concede.
You just said that absolutely men are more emotional than men 5 seconds after saying that women were more emotional than men.
And that's kind of like somewhat of a...
Owned. I mean, got him. Got her ass.
red herring, because what I'm
You just got debate lorded. Now he
trying to say
he looks at the camera. Oh, come on, man. I mean, these are antics, dude.
Women are more emotional.
I mean, this is I'm not gonna clown on Dean. He's doing a good job.
They just are in more of a, I can change my mind depending on my mood. Now you're bringing in anger, you're bringing in violence, you're bringing in.
Is anger an emotion?
It is, but to a different extent. And honestly, if you've got a man that's violent, out of character alone, I don't want him leading the country.
Yeah, that's why you voted for.
You can't say that and then be like, that's why I voted for Trump.
Oh, yeah. You want to get into that? I know that's another problem, but I'm happy to get into that.
I guess we could get into that on the front.
Never accused of.
Okay, we got to pause there. You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Good to see you.
Wait, she said Trump has never been accused of rape. He absolutely has. What the f? Trump's been accused of rape by almost every woman he has been around. Hello? Like his ex-wife wrote about it extensively in her memoir. And also E. Jean Carroll was found in a civil trial to be truthful about her allegations that Donald Trump had raped her. So yeah, definitely, Mr. Grab him by the pussy, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein affiliate. It's not that far-fetched.
Good to see you, Lori.
If you would like to be the next debater, please get to the chair. In 3, 2, 1.
Okay, women are so much more respectful, by the way. When this is like all guys, they're all running to the chair. Shout out women. Okay, point 1 to women.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
I'm going to give the mic to you. Why don't you tell us all why men are better at leading than women?
Men are better at leading because as a woman, I can tell you that we're emotionally manipulated very easy. We tend to be compassionate because
I guess there's no other way to make this argument other than to be like, I ain't shit and I deserve less. Like, how do you make that argument as a woman? You have to sit there and be like, yeah, I suck. Dean, let me tell you, okay, I suck. I shouldn't be leading anything. I'm horrible. And every other woman just like me is also equally horrible. We are terrible. We deserve less. We shouldn't vote.
As a woman and getting pregnant, it's inherent in us. Why? Because we deal with babies.
Yeah, and the real double bind, if Dean wins the debate, technically, she was correct. That's right. Dean, you got to take an L on this, buddy. You have to. You have to do it for women.
So women deal with babies, therefore women can be manipulated. I don't think that argument follows. But once again,
can be easily manipulated.
What about men? Do men not deal with babies? I'm confused. Men deal with babies as well. When men become fathers, are they not in the household? What's happening?
Women can be easily manipulated.
And convinced, yeah.
What's the argument for that?
It's inherent in us.
Okay, just saying that it's inherent is like me saying that what is actually inherent of women is that they can't be easily manipulated. That doesn't give me any substance to underpin your position when you just simply underpin your position by saying, well, it's inherent. And it doesn't push this stuff.
If it's 1 progressive versus 20 black MAGA conservatives, what kind of tactical dark woke are you deploying? Are you literally trying to say that I would, in a hypothetical matchup like that, be racist? Because the answer is no.
Dialogue forward. I would say that men are probably easier to emotionally manipulate than women, or else they wouldn't be culpable for 92% of violent crimes. We could emotionally manipulate a man by making him lose a game of Fortnite. The next thing we know, there's 3 holes in his walls. All right, same thing with self-unaliving statistics, suicide. Suicide's a really bad thing, but it is true that men are significantly more likely to kill themselves than women on average. Same thing with drunk driving, gambling. And then when we look at women, they actually perform better in the fields that are less indicative of emotional outbursts, such as performing well in school. And I mean, this is all underpinned by biology. There was a study done by the American Medical Association that proved that if you're operated on by a female compared to a male in the operating room at a hospital, that you're less likely to die or to experience any post-negative operative outcomes. Why? Because women are biologically designed to deal with stress and pain better than men because they have thicker dendrites in their brain. So ultimately, the science and the empirical facts completely reject the conclusions that you formed.
Not at all. Men are more rational and women...
You've been voted out by the majority, so please return to your seat.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. This stuff, it blows my brain. Like, I can't understand why you're like pouring this much empirical data to why, men aren't better at leading than women. I don't know who this is for. I guess there is a market for this kind of thing where people are like, no, I want to make sure that like the data is, before I make this assumption, Are men better than women at leading, or are women better than men, or are they equally competent and incompetent at times at leading? I need to see the empirical evidence. He does this every day, and the MAGA people question everything.
If you want to be the next debater,
I'm 18 and this is amazing. Oh no, all the Zoomers are learning about politics from this kind of marketplace of ideas type of back and forth.
Please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Annette Davis Jackson.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, yes.
So let's hear it. Why do you think that men are better at leading than women?
How about I know that men lead better than women? Because women have the babies, you're emotional.
Wow, everyone's argument is the same. What the is this? Jesus Christ, dude. Wow.
But more important, I have a dad. I have a dad who is very strong. And when I see what President Trump is embodying,
he's just like my dad.
I know that you can roll your eyes, but you know what my grandmother used to say? You can roll your cotton balls, but you sure can't shoot them. So men are strong just like Trump, because in the first 100 days, what did he do? He started writing executive orders.
Yeah.
He started writing executive orders day after day after day after day after day after day. Women would probably say, hey, ooh, let me take a break. That's why.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, listen, clearly I disagree with you about Trump. But that's actually not relevant to my counter argument. I'll tell you why. Because even if Trump was a good leader, that doesn't mean that therefore men are better at leading than women on average. Like, for instance, in the same way that you could give an anecdote of a man that you think is good at leading to justify the claim that men are better at leading than women, well, I could just give an anecdote of the opposite. Hitler was a man, he was a terrible leader, therefore men are worse at leading than women. All right? But clearly that's not how it works, because we cannot attempt to allow an anecdote of what we think about one individual man to then exist as a portrait for a generalization about all men.
Why did you have to say Hitler?
Because he's obviously a bad leader that's a man?
Yeah, and
do you agree?
The president of the United States, which is the commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump, is a great leader.
Okay.
And he's a great leader because he won a landslide.
Okay, yeah.
And if he could run again, he would run a landslide again.
Wait, I mean, Joe Biden actually won by a landslide. Does that mean Joe Biden's a better leader than Donald Trump? Oh my God, I have the debate poison. I'm doing it. I'm doing it now. I'm doing the actually by your logic shit. See? Oh God, it just sucks you in, okay? You watch one debate and you become a debate pervert immediately. Immediately. You asked who this is for. It's for you.
Again.
Yeah. Well, guess what? He's not. He's a terrible president. His policy sucks. How about this? What's your favorite Trump policy? I mean, a bill passed through Congress, then signed into law.
I'm a former college coach, and not having men in women's sports.
I'm sorry, what bill was that?
Oh my God, dude. Are you kidding me? I hope Dean doesn't turn around and say, actually, that wasn't a policy that went through the legislative body and it was simply an executive order. And I hope he doesn't say that, because he's going to say that, isn't he?
Oh, no.
Well, I'm sorry, what bill was that?
Oh, he did say it's not a bill. Oh my God. It doesn't matter to these people, man. It doesn't matter. No, just feel like really your life genuinely improved. Are you paying less for rent? Are groceries cheaper for you? Is that all you care about? Is that like 49 total athletes that are transgender are no longer participating in NCAA competitions? How did that materially improve your life? You were a coach. You have direct experience with this, and it still didn't do shit for you.
I asked you a very specific question.
We got to stop there. That you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay.
All right. If you want to debate this claim, please get to the center in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Tracy.
How are you?
I think I remember you. Were you on my first rounded episode?
Maybe.
Well, I'm going to pass the mic to you. Tell us why you think men are better at leading than women. It's worth me reminding you and maybe everybody else in the room that so far a lot of the people who've come up and sat in that chair have really missed the mark. Like that last lady. She told me that men are better at leading than women because she likes Trump. Okay, let's hear in general why men are better at leading than women.
Well, this is why I think you're going to be surprised. I actually agree with you.
And why are you in the chair?
And I respectfully disagree with some of them. Well, I'm just saying some of the points that they were bringing up about a woman being pregnant and because somebody can carry a baby that they're not fit to lead. Oh, I mean, it's the same argument where we say men go to work and come home.
Yeah, isn't a man out debating women about women being better leaders than men prove their points that men are better at leading than women? I made that joke earlier. Yes. That's why Dean needed to take a L here. And then at the end, after he took the L in the debate, he would have been like, you've defeated me thoroughly, and therefore you've actually lost the ultimate argument. You got to fall on the sword, man.
The woman stays and handles the household and the children. So is that not a powerful position? And I also have to, I'm respectfully disagreeing here, and I want you to give me an example. If you can tell me hypothetically of a woman that you think would be a better leader than Trump right now.
So just to clarify, you don't think men are better at leading than women?
No, Dean, because
Perfect.
if I'm in...
I'm really happy.
Dean is going to get hella pussy after this. Hashtag male feminist.
Happy that you don't think that.
I agree with you, right?
I want you and everybody else in the room to obviously not think that men are better at leading than women. But unfortunately, the nature of this Surrounded episode is where we have disagreeers in the hot seat.
Yes, so I'm asking you.
Now they're arguing on debate ethics at the Jube, man. What the hell? Okay, I'm going to skip this one. I don't care about the...
Yeah, body
That's
type.
funny, though.
I'm sorry, there are women that are larger than men.
Can you guys vote her out because she doesn't think that men are better at leading than women?
Tracy, it does sound like you agree on this prompt. So we're going to have you return to your seat and bring in a disagreeer.
Okay.
Okay, she actually low-key leaned into the premise. She's like, I'm a dumb broad, and I don't even understand the premise. Technically proving the premise. Just saying.
All right, if you disagree with this claim, you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hello.
Your name's Julie?
Bro, that's crazy. No one gets up? What the hell's going on?
Kate. So I want to ask you, inherent...
Stop! I don't believe this is the voice. What's up with that? What's up with that? That's anime voice. She's doing anime voice.
In your statement that men are not better leaders than women.
Yeah.
There's the sense that you believe men and women are different, correct?
I think that there's obviously distinctions between men and women, or else we wouldn't have two different words to refer to two different groups.
So what are some of the distinctions?
Well, I mean, there's distinctions in the sense of cultural and social attitudes and behaviors. There's going to be that are, of course,
women got titties. They got yitties. They got booba. You know, that's it. That's all I can think of. I can't think of anything else.
Innate to men and women because
So
I
you
don't
don't
think that
believe in innate
prescriptive. I don't think that prescriptive gender norms exist.
Women be shopping. It's another one. I mean, that literally is actually, there's empirical data to suggest that women, as a matter of fact, indeed do be shopping. 85% of all household consumer purchase decisions are made by the women in the household. And therefore, women do be shopping. It's actually not men that are being shopping. Yeah. Women eat hot chip, lie, don't charge their phone, and be bisexual.
Now, like from your perspective that we were to define the genders on the basis of sex, of course, then there's going to be sexual dimorphism and there's going to be differences present within that. Of course, like there's a plethora of differences. Listen, I'm not denying that there are differences between men and women because once again, if there wasn't differences between men and women, well, then we wouldn't have two distinct groups.
Okay, so we agree on that.
My claim is I don't think that any of the differences that exist between men and women would amount to being relevant to justify the claim that men are better at leading than women.
Do you think women are better at leading than men?
No, I actually think that gender is completely irrelevant to the
interchangeable
prospects
is what you're saying.
Of if somebody is better at leading than the other person. I ultimately think that there's going to be no determinative ability, regardless if we're making the claim that men are better at leading than women or women are better at leading than men, to ever make that prescriptive claim.
So what I'm hearing is that men and women are essentially interchangeable in your mind.
Well, in my mind, once again, I just don't believe in the prescriptive gender norms.
Okay.
And
I mean, it depends. It depends. On a leadership role, yes, interchangeable. It doesn't matter. There are women that are objectively better than men at leading. And then there are some men that are objectively better than some women at leading. It just doesn't matter. Like this kind of argumentation is so stupid. It's like, okay, you have a guy, didn't go to medical school, and then you have a gal who did, okay? You're about to die. Someone is going to do open heart surgery. Do you want the actual professional medical doctor, the woman, to perform the open heart surgery, or do you want the guy to do it? If the answer is you want the guy to do it, then you're an idiot. You're going to die, okay? You're dead. You're dead now. Like this kind of argument is so dumb. These sorts of like broad generalizations are so unbelievably stupid.
I think that ultimately one's gender is irrelevant to their leadership capabilities. If you can tell me what are the relevant differences between men and women that make men better at leading than women?
Yes, we can go back to the hunter and gatherers when men were the ones going out to hunt and women were the ones staying with the children and gathering fruits and nuts. Men are the people.
Let's go back to a time where there was no electricity. That's what you're doing? What the f***? does that have to do with anything now? That's crazy. This is, you have the brain of a child. Not only the voice, but the brain of a child as well.
That go towards risk.
Well, actually, Hassan, it's okay when you actually refer to primitive communism in your analysis of historical materialist analysis. But all of a sudden, you have an issue when we're talking about gender roles. I'm just debate lording myself now. I don't know what the f***'s wrong with me. Let's continue.
That go towards provision, naturally. Why is it that in today's, even our influencer community, we have more women that are drawn towards beauty, makeup, things like family, schooling, and men are more drawn towards traditionally masculine things? It's innate in every culture that you see this trend. We are hormone.
There's literally not true. There are currently existing matriarchal societies, like right now on the planet. And not even just like tribal societies or anything like that. There have always existed matriarchal societies throughout different cultures, throughout different time periods. You're just objectively wrong. The idea that like all leadership roles automatically go to men is just wrong.
Different. That's been mentioned throughout this place. You as a man do not know what it's like to have a cycle, to have a period, to have your hormones.
Oh my God, she's doing standpoint epistemology to describe why women ain't shit. What is going on, man? Oh my God. She's outwoking the woke lord in the most anti-woke direction. First of all, Zoomers all need to go to school, okay? They clearly, it didn't take. We got to start back from first grade for all Zoomers. If you are a post-COVID Zoomer and you made through your more formative years and then you got to experience COVID, that's fine. You kind of got out if you're like an older Zoomer. But if you're on the younger side of Gen Z and you spent your formative adolescence years, pre-puberty or during puberty, stuck indoors, you have to go back to school from the start. We got to do a No Child Left Behind and then just like rehash that, revamp that in its entirety and make you go back to school because it didn't take.
Go up and down.
Yeah.
That is insanely significant for a woman's ability to lead. And women will complain about being scared to walk on the streets at night, and yet they'll elect the same politicians that release the criminals on the street.
Do you think that women should lose the right to vote?
I think that I'm not talking about that today.
You just got to get a quick yes or no, then go back to the topic.
I think that we need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk, who will have secure borders, who will not let criminals
Did you
on the
just
street.
ironically say strong alpha males?
Strong alpha males, yeah.
Bro, get a grip. Stand up. Listen.
Bro, get a grip. You're a man. Do you want to mansplain to me?
Well, I mean, actually.
Oh my gosh, she's doing it again. She's doing it again. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's deploying woke. I would have lost my mind at that point. If I'm debating a woman about how women ain't shit, and then they hit me with this woke nonsense, I would lose it. The f do you mean? Are you mansplaining? Yes, I am actually. Okay. Yes. Hush now. A man is speaking. Isn't that what you want? You can't, on the one hand, argue that women ain't shit, and yes, a man should mansplain in your perfect design of society, and then use mansplaining as a negative in the same breath. You can't do both of those things at the same time. It makes no sense.
You just said that men are better at leading than women, so you should listen to every word that comes out of my mouth per your perspective, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think that men are the strong alpha...
Wait, no, never mind. Actually, she was literally saying, please mansplain to me. I should be put in my place. Because she literally stopped talking after he said yes.
Males and women are the emotional followers. Why won't you follow my lead and listen to what I have to say?
First off,
because
sir,
you don't believe what you say.
That is a straw man. I believe that male and female are created equal in the image of God. We each have the same dignity and the same value. We have the same brain, the same rationality, but we have different and distinct roles.
Okay.
Why is it that women can get pregnant? Only females can get pregnant.
Well, of course, that would boil down to the physical biology.
Physical biology.
Because
isn't that innate that women are more geared towards child rearing and child raising than men are?
So once again, the way that we started this conversation was by me agreeing that there are going to be differences between men and women.
Exactly.
You just simply
men
Can
are
I
better
finish?
leaders.
I would love if I could finish. You can't say because there's differences between two things that thereby innately one of the two things is going to be better at leading than the other. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Listen, once again, my claim is that the differences that do exist between men and women ultimately don't amount to justifying the claim that men are better at leading than women. And let me respond because you made a lot of claims.
On and on.
I think it's been the opposite.
Okay.
To respond to your claims,
Thank
you said
sir.
that there's a difference in the hormonal balances of men and women that make women more emotional. Well, I mean, I already went over this with.
It's not even just more emotional. It's that our bodies are not equipped to handle the same levels of cortisol as men. We
They're
need
actually more
care.
equipped.
Look at Donald Trump. The
They're
man
more
literally
equipped.
lives off of diet.
literally the worst person to point to be like, look at the beacon of stability, Donald Trump. Like, I'm sorry, out of all of the Republican leaders of the past and present that you could point to, Donald Trump is the one that you can't point to at all when talking about a guy who's not hysterical all the time. He literally said he is going to nuke Iran because he wasn't getting his way. He is one ginormous period cramp. The f are you talking about? He's the most emotionally volatile person that we've ever had lead this country. Like, straight up.
Diet Coke and McDonald's.
Okay.
We could not do that.
Okay. Listen. Actually, women are more equipped than men to deal with stress. It is proven by the science.
That's actually not true.
An American describing a good leader, he eats Diet Coke and burger. True. Okay, facts though. He do be eating Diet Coke and burger. So.
I'll tell you. You could look this up. Anybody at home could look this up. Women have thicker dendrites in their brain, and study after study after study has concluded time and time again that this gives women the ability to better manage their stress than men. And you actually brought this up.
Fact check. Existing human studies show that pregnancy and childbirth are associated with complex neuroplastic changes, but there's no robust evidence that childbirth causes a global increase in dendritic thickness or density. Oh my God, Dean is getting owned. Oh my God, I now believe it. Women ain't shit, dude. Women ain't shit. If the fundamental argument that you are presenting here is that women got thick ass skulls or dendrites or whatever the f that is, and it turns out Jube is actually cooking you in the edit. Sorry. Now, I don't believe that women can lead just as well as man can. Yeah, I'm going to start saying Foids now. Thank you, Jubilee.
You brought up childbirth. The reason why women have thicker dendrites in their brain, giving them a greater navigation ability, giving them a greater ability to deal with their pain and stress, is because
what the does that have to do with anything? Oh God, this argument is so irrelevant. I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh, but I just don't think that that's a relevant point at all, right? Like, I know a lot of these guys want to always like add empirical evidence, like data points to back their argument. It's like you train yourself into arguing this way after doing this for so long, and you always have to land on, you know, no matter how irrelevant this data point is, you have to like add a data point in there. And this is just not relevant to the point of contention. Like, I know he's trying to counter the point that she's making because she's using anecdotes, and his counter has to be empirical evidence. But I don't think you have to do that, because you can just oppose the argument or the anecdote in its entirety by saying, even if that was true, that still doesn't change the dynamic that a woman can be a better leader than a man. And it's not true regardless.
Of childbirth, okay?
Yes,
and that's exactly why women can deal with their stress better than men. So your claim that the opposite is true is wrong. And plus, once again, when we look in society, how men deal with stress compared to how women deal with stress, well, when a man gets mad, he commits a violent crime, he kills his wife, he kidnaps his children, he sets his house ablaze. And this is why men are significant.
Like, there are better data points that he could show here, which he brought up earlier about like the likelihood that a man is going to commit a violent crime over a woman is far greater, things of that nature, to show the irrational nature of man. But that still goes back to like biological arguments and a naturalistic argument, which I don't think is a territory that you should broach as someone who's like progressive, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, no man is the same as one another, and no woman is the same as one another. There's going to be overqualified women and underqualified men, and vice versa. So it doesn't matter. It's entirely related to life experiences, educational attainment, you know, experiences in the workplace. That's all that matters. That's why I brought up the point of like a doctor who is going to perform open heart surgery. The doctor is a woman, as opposed to a guy who went to Phoenix University, okay? Phoenix Online College, doesn't have a medical degree whatsoever. Who do you choose in that situation? Obviously, you choose the woman. Only an insane person would try to say, oh, the man with no qualifications whatsoever for open heart surgery. Because that's what matters at the end of the day. And we all make these decisions. We all make these decisions no matter how silly we behave. Bro, chill. You went to Rutgers. What the f does that have to do with anything? Fuck you.
More likely to commit every single crime on the books, including crimes that do not have a necessity for any use of physical strength, such as arson, cyberbullying,
if you think women are such good leaders, why won't you let me speak?
You're basically saying he should argue with vibes? No. Yes and no, first of all. Most people won't respond to that. Everyone needs to look at the numbers. He's numbers. No, that's not true.
Well, I'll happily let you speak in response to the things that I've said, as long as you're...
Wait, what did she say?
And this is why men are significantly more likely to commit every single crime on the books, including crimes that do not have a necessity for any use of physical strength, such as arson, cyberbullying,
If you think
or
women are such good
terroristic
leaders, why won't you
threats.
let me speak?
Well, I'll happily let you speak in response to the...
Got him. Oh my God. I didn't even realize. Oh my God. This is like one of those moments where the samurai goes, the samurai passes you, opens the katana up and closes it, and you're dead. You're dead. You don't even know that you're dead yet. And you're like, okay. And then you slowly but surely just, there's a line that forms across your chest, and your upper body, your upper torso starts sliding down. Nani? Nani? Omae wa ma shinderu. That's what she did to Dean right there in the marketplace of ideas.
Things that I've said, as long as you're able to stay on topic and respond to the meat on the bone.
Because I'm a woman and I have a brain. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I guess women are better at leading than men.
No, we're not. We're good at...
That's so stupid. You're so stupid. Okay, you're such a stupid person for going, no, we're not better than men. I'm sorry. Oh, this is entertaining. Oh my God, this has got to be extra maddening if you're watching this as a woman. You're like, what the
Our certain rules, we have our strengths and our values. We're good at raising children. We're very smart and adaptable. But men are the people that need to be out there fighting crime for us, protecting us, so that we feel safe and we can keep our children safe. Why do you think that just historically, more men are CEOs, more men are presidents, senators, whatever kind of leadership role you want to talk about? That is not because of white supremacy, colonization, or some kind of legal limit. It's because men are drawn to those roles. Today, women have the same exact rights as men, and still, a lot of them choose to stay at home or feel that they can't stay at home because of societal pressures.
Okay.
I mean, the entire argument that she has relies on her social conditioning, born out of the patriarchal systems that we exist under. And she's just straight up unable to recognize that, and talks about colonialism for some reason, or white supremacy. There is one systemic social conditioning factor at play here, one kind of structure at play here that you seemingly are refusing to address, and it's called the patriarchy. But of course, you are reinforcing it, so...
Well, I think that you said it there at the end. Societal pressures. Societal pressures are the reason why I think that we've seen more men in positions of power, more men in leadership fields, and more men's calling the shot. But if you're the position that underpins your claim here would be that if we see an overrepresentation of men in a field in comparison to women, that men are then by definition better performing in that field. So in the same way you're claiming that because of a vast majority of leaders are men, therefore women are worse at leading, would you also claim that men are better at surgery than women because 85% of surgeons are men and 15% of surgeons are women? I just want a direct yes or no to my question, so then I can follow this up with a dialogue.
Become surgeons because it's a more masculine thing. It takes more masculine traits.
Could you
to have to look at the blood. I said yes, but I want to ask you: would you agree that men are more oppressed today than women? Men are told that they're toxic for being masculine. The only laws that prevent any gender
Please
from getting
don't vote
a
her
role.
out. I need to respond.
We have laws in favor of women getting leadership roles. We're taking opportunities away from men. You are oppressed more than me.
This chick is crazy. Okay, listen, I think that you're crazy because you just said that I'm more oppressed than you, while also claiming that I'm a better leader than you after making the argument that disproportionately men have been in positions of leadership throughout history when leadership is what grants power. But anyways, insanity. Listen, I asked you a question. I said, do you think that men are better at surgery than women because 85% of surgeons are men and 15% of surgeons are women? The reason why I asked this question is because you made the claim that men are better at leading than women because a vast majority of leaders have been men. You said, yes, Dean, because a vast majority of surgeons are men, therefore men are better. The science says, no, men are actually worse at surgery. So the American Medical Association did a study in conjunction with the Journal of the American Medical Association. They did this study on 1.4 million patients over 6 continents in 14 years. And what they determined consistently is that when we account for every single confounding variable that could possibly exist, every single time, men are significantly more likely.
I really thought he was going to get to, would you rather have a female surgeon or just a regular guy, to drive home the point. Nope, he's doing empirical evidence again, which is important. It's important. It's good to rely on data, okay? It's good to rely on data. And I don't have a problem with that, but you can spice it up a little bit. He is a number. He is literally I'm a numbers guy. I'm Dean Withers. I'm a numbers guy. I know you like the number. Let me give you some numbers. You can chat GPT it. You can grok it. Let's continue.
To kill a patient on the operating table or to give them negative postoperative outcomes in comparison to women. It is one of the most well-accredited studies ever conducted in human history that has reasonably concluded that women are better at surgery than men, even though they account for a minority of surgeons. And this is exactly what debunks your claim that if a field is overrepresented by men, that therefore men are better at performing in it.
Of our natural desires and what men and women are naturally drawn to.
But women are better at surgery, even though they account for a minority of surgeons. That completely debunks your argument.
Sure, that could be a thing, but I'm saying that naturally men are drawn towards roles of risk and provision. That's because of innate biological characteristics.
But women are better at surgery.
And I said that you're oppressed because of society telling you that you need to be a beta, woke man. You are not like oppressed as a leader. Like instinctually, you want to lead. You want to teach me. That's because of your nature, and I appreciate that very much. But I disagree with your claims.
Okay, well, I mean, you have to concede here that your argument that men are better at leading than women because more men are leaders than women is false.
And the reason
okay, we gotta stop there. We're out of time, so please return to your seat.
Pleasure.
She rules.
That's the rounded episode you watching, got you scratching your head again.
He also boasted horse because of
Trump is a misogynistic sexual predator. Okay, let's see.
Would you like me to take it away by explaining to you why I think Donald Trump is a misogynistic sexual predator?
Yeah.
First and foremost, he's a sexual predator because a court has held him civilly liable for raping a woman by the name of E. Jean Carroll. Of course, raping somebody is something.
Yeah. Okay. Cool argument. Except I'm dark MAGA, and I'm gonna shake my head at it.
That would make one a sexual predator. In 2005, he also boasted about engaging in sexual violence by sexually exploiting beauty pageant contestants at the beauty pageants that he owned by barging into their dressing rooms and looking at their naked bodies. And this isn't an allegation from some woman that you could defame and say just wants money or fame. No, this was an admittance of guilt, something that Donald Trump said he did on Howard Stern's radio show. And I see you shaking your head. I'll happily play you the clip if you want. We also
please show me the clip because I do not believe it. Yes, take it out.
Don't worry, I got it preloaded.
Okay, good.
So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that everything is good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Why don't we start there? Mike's yours.
Okay, well, he said that he probably sees them. It doesn't say they're naked there, so
It does.
They might have. No, it doesn't.
He said that they have no clothes on. When you have no clothes on, you're naked.
Who said that they didn't have?
Actually, being devoid of clothes is also the same as being naked. That's awesome. That's so dope. God, MAGA, man. They're so stupid. Like, what do you do? I mean, this is literally like trying to play chess with a pigeon, okay? It's just impossible. You lost. You lost by entertaining it. You lost time. You lost opportunities. It don't make no sense.
Clothes on.
Donald Trump.
He didn't say that in the clip.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, again, I want to hear it again.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay?
There you go.
Oh, well, it's a club. Like, he didn't actually say clothes, but
yeah.
He said clothes.
I think it's important for us to be intelligent, rational people.
Okay, so
you're saying no clothes, and then Howard Stern says, so you're like a doctor.
I definitely don't agree
Why did
with
Howard
that?
Stern say you're like a doctor? Because doctors get to see people naked.
Okay, I don't agree with that. But men are men, and men have testosterone, and men love beautiful women. And trust me, I would prefer a man that actually looks at women and is sexually attracted to women than someone that is not. And I actually like looking at women too, and I'm not even a lesbian, but I think women's bodies are beautiful. It's like
Ma'am,
art
I'm
to
sorry.
me.
No,
it's art
I'm sorry.
to me.
This is disgusting.
No, and
you just told me that you would prefer a man who, quote unquote, likes the female body and is.
I feel like Dean has so many like woke 1.0 attitudes and qualities to him. I don't know what it is. He's just like, wow, ma'am, this is disgusting. Bro, just have fun. Have fun with this person. Like, that's a freak. These are all freaks. I'm fascinated with these freaks. You know what I mean? Just have a little bit of fun. Just let loose a little bit. Not everything has to be a immediate retort and like destruction in the marketplace of ideas. You got a real ass hog in front of you, okay? Grade A, prime hog. This is the Optimus Prime of hogs, okay? Person who ran for some sort of local position and lost, barely got 10,000 votes. The most beautiful version of this hog. Have some fun. Explore her brain. There's not a lot of wrinkles. Try to find some wrinkles in there. You know what I mean? Activate some synapses.
Willing to barge into the private women's only dressing rooms to look at them while they have no clothes on.
I said before that
you're saying I think that real men
He's woke 1.0 because he's a kid. He used to be edgy and he hates himself and needs to overcorrect. I want to see Kyle do this. Lamau, he'd have fun. My dark woke king. Yeah, Kyle would. Oh my God, this would be so much fun. This is making me kind of want to do it now because like they're such insane people. Like, and I love being around hogs, as you guys know. I'm a huge fan of hogs. I'm a truffle pig for other pigs, you know?
I don't believe that's right.
Sexual predators.
So you just lied about me right now because I said I don't believe what he did with.
Calling them disgusting doesn't do anything to them. They're used to being called that and like it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't call them disgusting. I'd call them amazing. This is, you know who would be really good at this? Brace Belden. That's who would be good at this. He'd be like, yowza, what a woman. Talk dirty to me. Tell me all your deepest, darkest desires. Who amongst us hasn't thought about Donald Trump holding us down and entering us? Yum.
Is right,
but it was
but
I would prefer a man who likes to look at the naked bodies of women.
I've been over someone that is attracted to other men. Yes,
why?
Absolutely, because it's not natural.
It's not natural.
It's
to be
natural to be attracted to the opposite.
Define
sex.
natural.
Natural is what God made, Adam and Eve.
So God didn't make gay people?
Well, actually,
I thought that God was the creator of all.
No, that's sin, and sin came from the devil.
No, sin is a conscious decision. Being gay is not a conscious decision.
Well, actually, being gay is a conscious decision.
Okay. Could you choose to be gay?
It's an action.
Could you choose to be gay?
Yes, absolutely.
Could you choose to be
actually could have chose to be gay when I was younger.
Could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
Fucking owned. He just owned you, Dean. Shut up. She chose to be gay. She said, I'm not just going to tell you you can choose to be gay. I did choose to be gay. I was gay as fuck. Boom. Owned.
A lot of women actually
could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
Said,
if attractions are a choice, could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
Can you choose to be a pedophile?
No, I couldn't choose to be a pedophile. Could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
Oh, so there you go. He thinks, no, it's an action, honey. And you can choose to sin or you can choose not to sin. I try to keep the devil away.
Oh my God. She's cooking. Yo, maybe women can lead. I know that in the previous debate, we learned because all of the women got owned that women can't lead. But now this woman is owning. So now I believe women can lead again. I'm back, baby. Feminism. W Bance. W feminism. Because she's leading right now. She's leading the conversation. Dunking on him. She pooping on him, dude. She said, I'm gay as f***. What's up? Yeah, I was eating box. What are you going to say about that, Dean? He misstepped. She wins. I am now conservative, which means he was right, which means I'm a communist now.
Can I just get a clear answer to the question?
No, this is a clear answer. But see, you don't come from a biblical standpoint.
What are the first 4 books in the New Testament?
I come from a biblical standpoint that there's 2 sexes.
Choosing to be gay only works on chuds. I don't think Dean knows that. This is a chud, but it's a different kind of chud. This is a chudette. And she said, I lick sniz. What do you say to that?
There's no 50 different genders. That came from a pedophile named John Money who lied about.
Ooh, she knows the trans tag. She knows all the transphobia info downloaded from like 2016. Respect. Okay, I'm leveling up her. Okay, this is prime hog. I caught it. I was right. This is the type of transphobic hog that knows like she's gonna tell you about, what is it called? Like autogynephilia or whatever. Like, she knows everything. She probably knows new genders that got invented like last week and you hadn't even heard about it yet, okay?
Had a study to push reassignment surgery on thousands of people through his lie that butchered this poor boy and put him through hell. Reimer twins, go look it up on Oprah.
Yeah, this is literally deep transphobia lore.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I'm going to ask
by the way, that argument unironically is not transphobic. Like, that argument literally means that argument is still pro-trans existence. Yes, a doctor forcibly tried to change the gender of children and it didn't work and it was devastating, implying that you can't just like choose to be trans. You just are trans. Anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, it didn't work. Clearly, it's more proof that people aren't choosing to do this. But anyway, she's got a utility belt, man. She's so sick. I love her.
question again.
You don't live in
I'm gonna ask
reality.
the question again.
I live in reality where I know
Jesus.
that a tree is a tree, a woman is a woman, a man's a man, and if you are choosing,
a moron's a moron.
and if you're choosing, oh, see, that's what they do. When they can't win an argument, they go for calling.
Okay, pause.
Yep, that's right. Don't name call, Dean. You're losing the argument. Ad hominem. Ad hominem. Yo, blast his ass, lady. You got angry. You got emotional. Like a woman. You lost. Hell yeah. Tactical grandma. Point 1 for tactical grandma.
Everybody pause. Dean, we got to ask that you don't do personal attacks.
Okay.
That's a
Oh! Yo! She's cooking.
warning.
Okay. All right. So first and foremost, the question once again was, could you choose to be attracted to your mother? The reason why I'm asking you this question is because you had suggested that all attractions are a choice.
It is a choice.
So please, with just a concise yes or no, could you choose to literally be sexually aroused by your mother? So there's 2 possible answers to this question. The first possible answer is yes, Dean, I could choose to be attracted to my own mother. And the second possible answer would be no, Dean, I could not choose to be sexually aroused by my own mother.
You're trying to do a
so
hook
what's
on
your
me.
answer?
Could I
It's
just,
a hook.
do you have a yes or no for that?
No, because this is a hook. Because I will never be attracted to
But
my
could you
mother and
choose?
father because it's a choice, but I would never do that because I'm a Christian.
So could you choose?
That's it. I'm not going to say that on camera. That's weird. And I'm not going to be in the
Low Kirkentually, she's kind of cooking. She's like, I'm not falling into your trap. Okay. That's a logical fallacy that you're trying to trap me with. I'm not playing those games. Moderator, mods, come in here right now. And she did the Trump. Look at this. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing by these games. I refuse to be clipped. I know your ways. Yo, when a debate pervert meets another debate pervert, respect. She sees the trap card he laid face down on the term before. Yep. This type of content makes me reconsider the cultural revolution a tiny bit. Oh, dude. Yes. Bring in the red guards, baby. All the rightists are going to prison.
hook of this young man that's 21-year-old telling a 52-year-old to say something disgusting.
She's also bringing age equals experience. Ooh, she
like
just
that.
out perverted him. She said, oh, you're a debate pervert? Guess what? I'm a debate pedophile.
So you admit that it's disgusting to think that you could choose to be attracted to your mother.
We got to stop there that you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat. If you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Gagged.
Howdy.
Hi, Dean. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal.
My name is Zuriel.
Zuriel, it's a pleasure
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you.
We're going to go back to the prompts. I think that Donald Trump is a misogynistic sexual predator. The reasons why I think this are some of them that I shared with the last guest. It's because I think that Donald Trump
So men over women, but old over young, and old woman over young man? Yes.
is a New
New
civil
rules.
court determined that he raped a woman by the name of E. Jean Carroll. We listened to that clip of Donald Trump bragging about engaging in sexual violence. Listen, I take a sexual predator to be somebody that is engaged in sexual violence. Donald Trump bragged about that when he said he'd barge into the dressing rooms of the women at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA. If Donald Trump's admission of guilt in that clip that I played to the last lady is true, and this is indeed something that Donald Trump has done, then by definition, Donald Trump would be a sexual predator, and thereby, by definition, I'd be right.
Can we both agree that people in power of elitists, people up there in politics, all have their own, maybe their own immoral traits to why they're running for candidacy? Like we've heard about Epstein files,
Yes.
about all these different people that, maybe they're not really here to make a change for us.
Yes.
Can we agree with that?
Yes.
I could care less about what Donald Trump says on the media, because
But
I
it's-
believe as long as he does his very best to be a good president.
Damn. She's cooking. She said, hey, that's my rapist. Okay. You know what he's raping? The economy. And that's good somehow? ? I don't know. Yeah, he loves molesting the money, but it makes me feel good that he is molesting the bag.
And do the best for this economy. I don't vote for a president based off their character. I vote for them based off what they can get done. Honestly,
I would like
It is kind of beast mode that she literally came in and was like, I don't care that he's a rapist. Actually, if she cuts taxes, that's A-okay with me, baby. That's amazing. That's clarity. That's moral clarity of a sort, if you will. It's just wrong objectively because Trump is not only a misogynistic sexual predator and really dog shit at being president, but that's besides the point. She said, I'm a policy voter. And you know what? Believe it or not, she's a Plattner supporter. Yeah.
to just take a moment. Let's look at what you said. Are you saying, Dean, it's true Donald Trump is a misogynistic sexual predator, but I could care less because of his policy?
What I'm saying is,
can I just get a straight answer?
We obviously can't deny that maybe he has bad traits of his character. I'm not going to agree that, like, I don't know everything about Trump like you do.
Okay,
what I care about is his economy. I don't care about what he has to say on
Let's start from the top of this debate.
news.
You sit down. I tell you Donald Trump is a sexual predator. I tell you he's a sexual predator because he raped a woman and boasted about sexually exploiting beauty pageant contestants.
The reason why I'm not responding to your claim is I don't know much about what you see in the courthouse.
Let's just test your logic. What do you say, Dean, even if it was true Donald Trump was a sexual predator, because you don't know about the evidence for it, which is something you should look into on your own time, I would still support him as president and could care less. Is that your position?
I would still support him as president because he does what's best for the economy and for the American dream.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to stop.
Every person
we got to pause
within
there.
that.
You've been voted out. We got to pause there.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Quote unquote, I would still support Donald Trump as president if he was a sexual predator. If he was a child rapist, they'd still support him.
If you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Liz.
Nice to meet you, Liz.
Nice to meet you.
Listen, I think that you've heard my arguments. You happen to be sitting in a position where you could hear my voice. Mic is yours.
Okay, so my question is, because you mentioned Donald Trump going into the women's locker rooms.
Yeah.
Are all trans people sexual predators?
So I would not say that trans women are sexual predators for using the women's restroom. I think that the definition of sexual violence would be any sexual act that is done without consent. And I don't think that this would be true of trans women who use a women's restroom. And I have an argument for why I think that trans women should be able to use a women's restroom. But let's try to take advantage of our time. Instead of me giving you my argument, let's just hopefully stay on topic with the claim that Donald Trump is a sexual predator because he's raped a woman. He's boasted about sexually exploiting women by barging into their dressing rooms and looking at their naked bodies without consent, then telling Howard Stern how much he loved it and how incredible they looked. He's mentioned the Epstein files over a million times.
The women, the young women in sports who do not want biological men in their dressing rooms, doesn't that go against them?
Well,
what about their safety?
I would love to have a conversation with you about trans people in dressing rooms, or sorry, more so locker rooms. And I understand where you're coming from if you say, well, I don't want a trans woman in my dressing room because I would see their naked body and their genitalia.
Well, no,
the reason why I get it, the reason why I understand where you're coming from is because even when I go into my gym's locker room and I see other dudes with their dicks out, I'm like, hey, bro, I don't really want them to see me. I don't want them to see me. So I advocate. One moment. I advocate for unisex, unistall, one person at one time changing rooms in locker rooms and gyms and sports across the country.
The thing is,
that's my position.
Let's talk about
what? What is going on, dude? Okay.
Claim that Donald Trump is a sexual predator.
Part of the claim.
Well, you're not.
First of all,
do you accept that Donald Trump is a sexual predator?
I can accuse you of being a sexual predator.
And if I admitted to doing it, then it would be true. Donald Trump admitted to barging into those dressing rooms, and a court found him guilty of raping E. Jean Carroll.
No, he didn't. No, they didn't. That's a lie.
They certainly did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Listen, do you accept that the definition of rape would include the penetration of a woman's vagina with any part of a man's body, including his fingers?
Without consent?
Yeah. So specifically, the action that the jury found Donald Trump guilty for was forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's.
I think what's going on right now in the world.
What do you mean no? That's literally a thing that happened. You can't just say no. Like, nuh-uh. Okay, I guess I'm owned. Like, what do you mean no? Did a civil court find him liable of digitally penetrating E. Jean Carroll or not? What the do you mean no? That they did.
Is that women are accusing a lot of men of rape, and until I see actual proof, because a jury can just agree with anything. That's something else, okay?
Wait, what? A jury can agree with everything? Okay, well then there's no crimes. You're a crime abolitionist. You think no more criminal justice system. After all, juries can find someone who's innocent guilty. I mean, that's an extreme position.
Until there is actual proof and evidence, and if you can show me the proof that Donald Trump raped her, then fine.
Thank you so much for the great question. What's all the evidence? So the first form of evidence that we would have would be E. Jean Carroll's testimony, in which has maintained consistency for the last 30 years, as corroborated by 4 of her friends that testified under penalty of perjury. The second form of evidence that we'd have
lied under penalty of perjury.
Well, can you please examine the evidence in which I provided?
Yeah, you know who did? Donald Trump, ironically enough.
I'm done providing it. We have therapist notes from the 90s indicating she was raped by Trump. We had the testimony of a psychotherapist that said when E. Jean Carroll was testifying to the fact she was raped by Donald Trump, she was exhibiting signs consistent with true trauma that we'd expect to be onset by a true victim of rape. Then we have Donald Trump's lies and inconsistencies. He lied. He said that he never met her as a part of his testimony for his defense. And then E. Jean Carroll responded by submitting a photo of them together to court.
Do you remember
we also have,
every
I'm not
single
done with the evidence. I'm not done with the evidence. We have another lying inconsistency on Donald Trump's behalf. He also said that he never raped her because she wasn't his type, but then he confused a picture of E. Jean Carroll to be his ex-wife Marla Maples under deposition, so clearly she was his type. Then we also have E. Jean Carroll's dress. E. Jean Carroll submitted a dress to the court, claiming it was the dress that she was raped in by Donald Trump. Court confirmed it had male DNA on it, and then when the court asked Donald Trump to provide a DNA sample to test against the DNA in the dress, he said, no. Doesn't sound like something an innocent man would do. And then the last and final piece of evidence we have would be his character priors. Listen, we all know that a one-time felon is around 73% more likely to engage in another felony compared to somebody that's never committed a crime in their life. The same thing rings true about being a sexual predator. So because Donald Trump has character priors with engaging in sexual predation, like the dressing room clip.
Dude, why do liberals turn into MAGA cops? That last part is crazy. You know, denying DNA testing is I think well within his rights. And not only that, but then also he just made a pre-crime argument where he was like, well, you know, if someone's actually done a crime, they're infinitely more likely to do it again.
Proudly boasting about sexually exploiting naked women and girls, or like the Access Hollywood tape where he literally said that he would just grab women by their vaginas without asking first, and that's precisely what the jury found him guilty of doing, or everything to do with the Epstein files. That in consideration with the direct evidence submitted by E. Jean Carroll and his lies is absolutely what demonstrates Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll.
Okay, we got to stop there. We got to stop there. The flags are up. You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Yeah.
If you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's see.
Hi.
Oh, this
Nice
one's
to
going
meet
to
you,
cook.
Gina.
I already
you too,
know.
Gina.
Thank you. First of all, if Trump was truly a predator, he would have never reported Epstein to the feds.
Yeah, he didn't.
In the 90s. He did.
Do you mean
In the
2006?
Yeah, sorry, 2006.
That's okay.
Also, was he ever on the island?
Well, I don't think that there's any evidence to demonstrate he was
never on the island.
because I don't think he needed to go to the island to get it off.
No.
Listen, about the 2006 quote-unquote report to the feds about Epstein, he didn't report him to the feds. Epstein got arrested, and then Donald Trump turned around, called the local sheriff, and said, oh, thank God you got him. We've known about what Epstein's been doing all along, which A, indicates that Donald Trump knew what Epstein was doing with Maxwell and didn't report him to the cops prior to Epstein's original arrest, and B, indicates that Donald Trump has been lying to us about the nature of his relationship with Epstein for the last 10 years.
No.
We've all heard Donald Trump say that he never knew what Epstein was doing.
It's so awesome. No. Well, known then, I guess. Again, no.
Was never involved and was completely oblivious. But according to that report to the sheriff, of course he knew.
Okay, so first of all, if he did do something, believe me, they would have found it. They had to make the Russian dossier up. They had to make things up to get Trump. Trump doesn't have to be a sexual predator. Any woman would love to be with Trump. Okay, any woman.
Do you have a husband?
I can't believe they got Laura Loomer to that's a high profile conservative to be on this Jubilee. That's wild.
No.
Okay.
It's cool.
Wait, well, let's actually test that. Could I have all the women with husbands or boyfriends in the room raise their hands? So her claim is that any woman would love to be with Trump.
Love.
Would you guys cheat on your husbands and boyfriends with Trump?
Well, we didn't say if they were married, not if we were married.
I mean,
Instead of anybody who's in a relationship, is there anybody who would want to be with Donald Trump?
let's do it the other way
He
around.
doesn't have to be a sexual predator.
Okay. All right, listen. Put your hand up if you would have sex with Donald Trump.
Wow. Lady, you're on camera. That's gross. That's awesome. God, I love hogs so much. I wish we had better hogs in here. It sucks that like all the hogs that come in here are like, here's a bacon.
Oh,
If I was married to Donald Trump, yes. And I'd love to be.
That's crazy.
Do you prefer Clinton? Why don't we talk about sexual predators as far as Bill Clinton?
Why? It's not
Okay,
about the
because he's a predator.
Okay, and if
Trump
he is,
doesn't
burn him,
have
throw him
to
under the
be a
jail. I don't
sexual
care.
predator. Trump did report.
The Bill Clinton counter is so funny because it's like, okay, great. Let's put them both in jail, you know? What if one OG refuses to ask such a question? That's a bit too much aggressive to ask. Wait,
Him
what
to
do
the
you mean?
feds.
I thought I clarified
When-
that's not what
well,
happened.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Show me that. Give me
Virginia,
evidence.
first of all, Virginia Guthrie.
I think it's more maddening if they're actually solid. You know what I mean? Someone asked them, like, how does this not piss you off? Like, how can you just like laugh at this stuff? But it's like, because they're so stupid. They're just so dumb. It's kind of fun. I mean, dude, she raised her hand and said she would suck Donald Trump. Come on, it's too silly. You can't look at what they're saying and take it seriously. It's impossible.
Worked at Mar-a-Lago in the early 2000s, and he prompted her to come and work for him as a massage therapist. Trump was pissed, and he reported Epstein.
Okay, well, I would recommend looking at the fact check that will likely be on the video screen that says, actually, he placed this phone call after Epstein was arrested to thank the...
Oh my God, he literally did do the actually. Trump called him July 2006, more than a year after Palm Beach police began investigating Epstein following a report following a 14-year-old girl. According to Reuters' account, Trump said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this," said he had kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and described Ghislaine Maxwell as Epstein's operative and evil, urging investigators to focus on her as well. The account has been reported publicly, though an FBI official said the Bureau was not aware of the corroborating evidence for the call. So the fact that that phone call ever actually even took place is also contested. That's number one. Number two, what we do know, as a matter of fact, is that there was beef between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, but the beef did not revolve around him poaching some of the staffers. It actually, I think, was a real estate deal, right? It was like something real estate related. But once again, even that possibly fake phone call actually does not absolve Donald Trump. It actually shows that Donald Trump was well aware of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes and literally didn't tell anybody.
Top and to tip them off about Ghislaine Maxwell, because that's what the fact check is going to say.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference is in one scenario, he's reporting the crime to the cop to then get Epstein arrested. In the secondary scenario, he's thanking the cop after Epstein's arrest and indicating that he knew about what he was doing.
Indictments.
I think that in many scenarios, what we'll see from quote-unquote co-conspirators of criminals is, well, once their friend gets arrested for the same crime that they committed, we'll turn around and be all lovey-dovey to the police to try to, indicate and promote the idea that they were involved. And the only reason why I bring this up isn't to say I know with certainty that this is exactly what Trump did, but is rather to give plausible doubt to your argument that because he did this, we know he's not a sexual predator, even though he admitted to it on Howard Stern's radio show, and even though a court found him guilty of rape.
A court never found him guilty of. First of all, if he was guilty of, he'd be in chains right now.
That's not how civil courts
They
work.
had to make, it is.
Civil courts don't send people to jail. They hold people financially liable. That's the nature of our criminal justice system.
But he would have been in jail.
You're not familiar with...
No, that's not how that works. Also, I'm not exactly too confident in the prosecution of rapes of women in the hands of powerful, wealthy white men in our current criminal justice system regardless. So that's not even that's not even as reliable to hang on. So
it's statute of limitations then.
I'm familiar with
What's
that.
the statute of limitations?
You can only accuse somebody within a matter of time, but now
so
it's 30 years.
So if E. Jean Carroll, came out after the statute of limitations had
out of
passed
her mind,
for
she's
sexual
insane.
abuse in the state of New York
They
against
threw her
Donald
case
Trump,
out.
do you agree that even if she had a video of it happening to her, he wouldn't be in jail because of the statute of limitations had
That's
passed?
not true. There is no statute of limitations when it comes to...
So by the law, the crime...
In New York State, there might not be any longer, right? Didn't they abolish the statute of limitation for some crimes? Varies state by state. I don't know. But I'm almost certain that they changed it.
That Donald Trump committed per the New York State legal definition of sexual abuse in 2019.
I mean, I don't think you can retroactively extend it, though. I think it's just like...
Never committed that crime.
Was specifically sexual abuse, because legally speaking in New York, they only defined as penile penetration of the vagina. And she testified that he raped her with his fingers instead of his penis. So because of that,
that's a lie.
it would
There's no
be legally
proof of that.
categorized as sexual abuse. And that's the crime that had a
She's
statute
out
of
of her
limitations
mind.
on
She's
it.
insane, and they threw the case out just recently.
Okay,
we got to pause there. We got to pause there. You've been voted out. I just want to get a real quick raise of hands. This is not to shame anybody. I was just genuinely curious. Raise your flag really clearly so we could get a poll. If at Donald Trump's when he was in his 40s, if you think he was an attractive man. I just want to get a raise of flags.
Dude, come on, man. That's crazy. I mean, he's content brain too. Gross, by the way, but whatever. Shameless.
This is so concerning.
Keep your flag up if you think he is currently still hot. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, if you would like to be the next.
Everyone involved in this process needs to take a shower. Unbelievable shamelessness from every party involved here, including my man, who very clearly knew what the fuck he was doing.
Next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
All right, Lori. Mike and the floor are yours.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about Trump barging into the dressing rooms of the beauty pageant contestants?
You know, you may not imagine this, but when I was your age, I was a model. And I can tell you for a fact, every fashion show, every modeling call, there are men in the dressing room. There are makeup artists, there are designers. It's not uncommon. And you're making it as if it's this big, huge deal. Donald Trump at the time was the head of the Miss Universe and Miss USA pageant. It wouldn't be surprising if I was in there changing for him to walk in. And you guys, let's look at the camera. He's got a face for that one too. Let's go to E. Jean Carroll since she already went over this for 20 minutes.
Can I respond to that?
Sure, but we're down to 1 minute. You've already talked about this.
Trump said that there were no men anywhere.
Well, I don't care what he said. I'm saying as a woman that's been backstage at many fashion shows.
He was the owner.
There are men
the one backstage.
everywhere.
He said that he was the only man back there.
Well, and I'm sure that there were other men. Forever or just that instance?
He said
I'm not buying it. Okay, we got 50 seconds.
I'm
going E. Jean Carroll.
Fuck.
E. Jean Carroll, number one, the statute of limitations had run out. Number two, for a very long time, she never reported it to anyone until Reid Hoffman paid her to freaking go after this lawsuit. Why she is now being charged with.
Did he say based?
Perjury. Not only that, as a celebrity walking into Bergdorf Goldman's, you don't think that anybody would have a picture of him? And no offense, I don't trust a woman that named her cat Vagina and freaking said was sexy and charged 21 other men with that crime.
Lori, you're going to get another fact check.
Well, you go ahead and fact check. Larry King,
I will.
said rape was sexy.
Oh, you're wrong about Larry King, too.
No, I'm not.
Your mind's a mess. Okay.
Your mind's a mess.
You know, Lori, there's something quite barbaric about MAGA, about this alt-right movement that's hinged on this praxis of propaganda and useless and futile lies. And then when anybody tries to check these lies, well, then all of a sudden, the provocateurs of this movement get mad, start screaming, start yelling, start saying that they kicked our asses, and then they don't let us speak. Listen, you made a couple false claims. You claimed that E. Jean Carroll had said that rape is sexy on an Anderson Cooper interview. That's not what she said. If you watch the interview with Anderson Cooper, you will hear her say verbatim that what
I think it's crazy to have this much deep, intimate knowledge of these things. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I appreciate that Dean is knowledgeable enough, but it's just like, it is such a sad state of affairs to know like this level, having this level of ball knowledge on all the fucking talking points. You're one to talk. Yes, I am knowledgeable about random shit, but it's usually important for historical events, not like Donald Trump legal counsel's talking points on the E. Jean Carroll case, which not only did not favor Donald Trump, but also Donald Trump further defamed her and had to lose again for additional damages for defamation. So like the courts already did the work.
Happened to her was not sexual, was not sexy, quote unquote.
This is not about Dean. This is not a criticism of Dean. It's just like the culture is so busted that these guys try to establish talking points and just like literally repeat verbatim what the legal team presented as like character testimony for E. Jean Carroll not being a reliable orator of events, a reliable witness to her own sexual assault.
Just hurt. And then Anderson Cooper responded to E. Jean Carroll by saying, well, I think that most people think of rape as like this hurtful, violent thing. And then she responded by saying, well, actually, I think most people think of rape as sexy. And the reason why she said that is because we form our own versions of reality predicated on our own experiences.
This
so
is where I
when
think
you
we're
have
wrong.
the experience of sexual violence,
when
you have the experience of sexual violence, when you go through the experience of sexual violence,
I've been through sexual violence. Have you?
Yes. When you go through the
experience
experience of sexual violence, you're more likely to be more hypercritical and aware of crazy people in the world around us that downplay it, legitimize it, or fantasize about it. So maybe it was descriptively incorrect. It wasn't true when she said most people think of rape as sexy, but regardless of that, that's not her saying that she thinks of rape as sexy. So stop misinterpreting the genuine claims made by a victim of predicated off of the trauma that they went through. Quite frankly, Lori, I think that is disgusting.
Well, I think it's disgusting because I was a victim of actual and abuse. And if you want to compare what happened in the Epstein files, let me just tell you, I was one of those little girls.
I'm
Okay?
sorry to hear that, Lori.
I was one of those little girls, but the guy was Hugh Hefner. So for you to sit there and say it's disgusting, I'm sorry. I don't agree with the woman as a woman who was abused. I don't agree with the attack.
What is that like? Again, with the standpoint epistemology is like, well, listen, as someone who's victimized by one rich old white pervert, I am going to now tell you that this other rich old white pervert is actually innocent. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I guess I have to agree with you then. Sorry.
Falsely on Donald Trump because of the crap that your side always has to push because you got such bad TDS, it's insane. That woman is a nut job. I knew somebody that worked with her at Simon Schuster, said that she was so inappropriate. She also accused 21 other men of the same freaking crime.
Name 5 of them.
I don't know their names.
Because they don't exist.
We're out of time. We have to pause there. Great job, everybody.
We are currently casting 3 new episodes.
Boomers, 55 plus, Republicans are old school Democrats, progressives, liberals, black liberals.
Screen/Kathy order.
Hello
Abortion
again.
should be legal. Oh, hell yeah. My queen is back. My goat is back. Let's go. Oh, Hogtimus Prime. Oh, let's go.
Welcome back. Mike's yours. I'll let you take it away.
Okay, well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you believe in equality?
Well, I mean, I think that's a very vague question, but generally, of course.
Okay, so if you do, then all humans are equal, correct?
No, I don't think that all humans are equal, and I don't think you do either.
Oh, I absolutely think that all humans have a right to life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness.
Really?
It's part of our Bill of Rights.
Okay.
And if you actually love our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, then you would believe what I believe.
Well, I mean, it says people, but small distinction there. I want to ask you a question. Is it murder for a doctor to pull the plug on a brain dead patient in the hospital?
Some people actually write what they want done. You know, they say, hey, if I become brain
Yes, DNR, do not resuscitate.
dead, then pull the plug.
Yeah, but for instance, if they don't do that, okay, like for instance, I haven't done that. If when I leave the set today, I get into a nasty car accident, I get T-boned by a drunk driver, I go brain dead. Okay, would it be murder for like my family to tell the doctor at the hospital, well, because he's brain dead, let's just go ahead and pull the plug? Would that be murder?
I honestly, you're talking to someone that is very skeptical of doctors, okay? And
Oh, I know. Oh, what a woman this is. Oh my God. I'm melting in my chair. She is perfect. She's so perfect. She said, I'm skeptical of doctors. Wow. Because of course she is. Oh my God. Dr. Fauci gave me the ouchie. Oh, yowza. What a woman. You know she got ivermectin in that utility belt. You know she got ivermectin in there. She got horse pace.
And even they talk about brain dead people that weren't actually brain dead.
True.
So that's why I always leave up to everything to God. So when I die is when I die.
I want to clarify
So
that.
I actually don't want to be killed. But now if you're on all these machines to keep you alive, if it's months and months and you're not getting better, then you're using machines to keep you alive.
But they're still alive, and you still don't think it's murder to kill them. So you actually don't think that all humans have this intrinsic right to life? And by the way,
I never said no. You don't speak for me. Again, I just told you I don't believe in doctors.
Okay.
So I don't go to the hospital.
I don't believe in doctors. I don't go to the hospital. Oh my God. She's so perfect. I don't believe in doctors. I don't go to the hospital. Wow. They don't exist in my world.
I have a very
that's
insane.
I have not gone to the hospital in a long time.
Okay, well I hope that
because
Why are these cowards raising their red flags? Excuse me. Let the queen speak. She has dethroned everyone else here. Okay, everyone needs to respect her. Okay, I'm sorry. She is the queen of this crop. None of the other MAGA loyalists are wild enough to say, I don't believe in doctors. Like the existence of doctors. I don't believe it. That's it. She won the show. She won the argument. She has destroyed everybody else. She is the Queen MAGA.
Add on a point of
when it's
clarification
my
here.
time, it's my time.
Do-
Now, question
Okay.
for you.
All right.
So, when do you think life begins?
I think that life begins at the moment of conception.
Good. I'm glad you believe that.
You're
So-
Christian and you base your morality
and that's
off
called
of
science.
Christianity.
And see, it seems like
Can
the
I
people
ask you
that
a
say
question?
we're anti-science, they're anti.
Wait, Dean is one of those guys who's like, yeah, life begins at conception, but also we should murder the lives. That's interesting. Damn, he's throwing me in for a loop there. Okay. Respect.
Anti-science because they don't believe man and woman. They believe genders.
I want to ask you a question about abortion.
Okay.
You made the claim that all humans are equal. Every single human has the identical right to life. That is a claim that fundamentally everybody
it depends.
rejects
Actually,
in one way or
no,
another.
I didn't say that. So, see, you're putting more into the sentence that I did not add.
Yeah, by the way, it kind of rings hollow when you say you're pro-science. Only 30 seconds after you said you're anti-doctor. You're kind of throwing me in for a loop here. I don't understand. Like, yeah, I'm anti-abortion because I'm pro-science, but I'm also anti-doctor. That kind of doesn't make sense. She rejects medical science, but she does believe in the medical science's theory of reproduction through gametes.
Okay, I said for
equality
life,
for everyone.
liberty and a pursuit of happiness.
Which
now,
would be
if you're a
the right to
murderer,
life.
I do believe in capital punishment, but because of your actions.
Okay.
So
That's
that's where I don't believe in equality. Is like,
Can
is
we
a
push
baby
the
and a
abortion debate
murderer
along?
the same? No, because a baby's innocent. A civil society.
All these other Floyds are waving the red flag for my queen because they're jealous that she's cooking Dean's ass, dude. Stop. I don't like that they're waving the red flag. She's cooking.
Protects the most innocent and vulnerable. They don't go and murder them. That is a satanic society, and I reject a satanic society.
Okay, we got to stop there. You've been voted out.
Okay.
God damn it.
If you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Tish.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Why should abortion be illegal?
Well, let me ask you something. Abortion is legal here. What procedure do you prefer? The suction, the dye, and the what is it?
I don't know. The
What?
most brutalistic, gross one where we chop up all their limbs and throw them in the trash. Listen.
Really, that's gross.
Okay.
That is so gross.
I know. I'm rage baiting you. Listen.
I have 4 children, but a set of twins. I would never ever do that to my children.
And
would you have your girlfriend do that to your child?
Well, ultimately, I think it's a
Or
choice.
do you have a
of-
girlfriend?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Ultimately, I think that it's a choice of
Flags.
the woman.
Flags.
So if
Okay.
you want to tell me
Flags.
that you never get an abortion,
No,
all
I've
the
never
power
had
to you. I love that for you because that's your choice, and I think that's great. But listen, I don't think that abortion is murder because I don't think that there's any trait that we could identify to be true of a fetus in which we fundamentally would value enough to grant the right to life. The last person on the mic said, well, fundamentally, all humans have the same right to life. And that's something that we hear from a lot of pro-lifers. As I was attempting to communicate to her, everybody rejects that view in one way or another. So I want to hear your argument insofar as why it's morally wrong for a woman to get an abortion outside of its gross. Because grotesqueness doesn't arbitrate morality. Like, taking a shit's pretty gross. Shit smells like shit, right?
Okay.
But we're not going to say it's morally wrong to take a shit, even though it's gross. So what's the argument that abortion is wrong?
Let me just ask you this. Everyone's really, really focused on, it's
I have a much better argument for this, but that's a crazy analogy. That and gross. Just talk about open heart surgery in gruesome detail and then say, do you think we should stop open heart surgeries? That's it. That's the number one meta, because they always talk about third trimester abortions and talk about how gruesome it is. Well, that's just how all medical incidents are, you know? Yeah, you can talk about a knee replacement. Don't dismiss the dookie meta.
It should be the right for every woman. Why don't you think about it the other way and think about, why don't you prevent all these women who don't want to have babies? Why aren't you guys helping them prevent pregnancies?
We do. I
Okay,
agree we should.
Yes, we should.
100%.
You
And
should
we need
be
access to comprehensive sex ed in schools. We need free and fair access to
In schools?
Yeah, of
At
course.
what age?
Is at an age appropriate level. I would say starting in late middle school, because I was in middle school. You were in middle school. We were all in middle school. The second thing that I think is also important here would be free and fair access to contraceptives, and we should also try to find ways to limit financial instability in young women and young men, because the leading cause of women accessing abortion is financial instability. But you still haven't answered the question, and you've been up here for a while.
Okay.
I want to hear why you think that abortion is wrong. I think that you're...
Even a C-section law, they take the intestines out and plop them in a tray beside you. Since you're awake, you can feel being unzipped. Oh, God. Okay, make that illegal too now. Okay. I'm now anti-abortion and anti-C-section. And if you try to describe the process, the gruesome nature of childbirth to me, then I'm against that too. Keep the babies inside. Sew them shut. That's what I'm in favor of. Oops. No, never mind. Because now you're describing to me the process of sewing and people shut. And that's gruesome too. Now I've arrived at the new conclusion. No more doctors. They're just like that. Just like that. Queen MAGA, Prime Hog, she was right all along. Okay. She was right. Full circle moment for me. Okay. Here I am eating crow. I don't believe in doctor. I'm a numbers guy. I don't believe in doctor.
Struggling to come up with an argument.
Because it is murder.
And the definition of murder would be the unjust termination of a human life. Explain why you think it's unjust.
First of all, a woman who has a pregnancy, a baby in there, they have the right to life too.
What grants the fetus the right to life?
I don't believe in baby. Yeah, no, I don't believe in baby. It don't exist.
What grants it just that it's been conceived.
Or the fact that it's a human?
It is a human.
Okay, so brain dead patients have the right to life too?
So what, brain dead?
Yeah, they're human.
You know what? I've heard of brain dead humans coming out of comas.
Then they're not brain dead. The definition of brain death is irreversible cessation of all cognitive function. Do humans who are biologically alive because of machines with irreversible cessation of all cognitive function have the right to life?
I haven't really researched that. So if there was no hope, possibly.
Okay.
They should. I mean, that's not my decision to make. That's a family member's.
Okay. So you think it should be up to the choice of the family to kill a human?
You know what?
No, that doesn't have the right to life.
Doesn't mean.
So you don't think that all humans have the right to life? So what is a fetus?
But if they're brain dead, are they really alive?
Yes, biologically they are.
You know what? That's a determination that I would have to take with a medical doctor.
Let's say the same thing about women for abortion. Then.
No, I don't believe that a woman has that even right. That a woman should be able to get an abortion here in California.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
I don't.
We have to pause there. You've been voted out.
Thanks
she
for
was
your
terrible.
time, Tish.
Okay, if you want to be...
She was terrible. She was stepping on her own toes. She couldn't even make a fucking coherent argument. Disappointing. Bring back Prime Hog.
The next debater, please get to the center chair in 3, 2, 1.
They're so courteous. Oh my God. These MAGA ladies are so much better than the MAGA men.
Hi, Dean. I'm Enya.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bring back Optimus Prime, please. This is boring. You're boring.
I couldn't hear a lot of what you were kind of saying a while ago, but what were you saying was brain dead people about if they should be unplugged?
Well, I brought up...
Bro, by the way, he hasn't even nutted yet. Like, there's obviously the other side of this argument where he goes, aha, here's why you're fine with that, and therefore you should be fine with abortion. And like... And we haven't even gotten over the hump because none of the ladies that he is arguing against have any investment whatsoever in actually having a conversation. This is the problem. He's been edging us nonstop. I want to nut. I want to climax, man. I want to climax at the same time as Dean is climaxing. I want the dolphin fetus argument. When is it happening? God damn it.
A brain dead patient as a counterexample to the claim that, well, the reason why it's immoral, the reason why it's murder to kill a fetus is because the fetus is a member of the human species.
Yes.
So brain dead patients on a biological level.
And they should not be unplugged. And I think actually any argument that anyone makes for a brain dead patient to be unplugged is actually coming from the doctors who want to harvest organs and to promote the organ donation.
Okay, we're back. All right, I'm back in, baby. Yes, yes. Those disgusting medical professionals that want to harvest the organs.
Industry culture. And I think that any kind of promotion that even manipulates families into unplugging their brain dead relatives is also immoral.
Yeah, I think we agree. We agree on that.
And so
organ harvesting aside, if a family wants to unplug a brain dead...
Organ harvesting? No, man, you don't agree with that. That's an insane claim that she just made. That is a psychotic thing to say. No, doctors are not salivating at the prospect of harvesting organs. What the fuck?
Family member, because it's the end of the road.
That is immoral.
That would be murder?
Yeah. But I think the doctor, it would be murder from the doctor in the same way that...
So you truly think it's murder to kill any member of the human species? What about a zygote?
That is also murder.
So if I kill a unicellular organism, I'm a murderer? Do you think that all murderers should go to jail?
Human zygotes, it's about humans.
So do you think that all murderers should go to jail?
All murderers should be put under trial and tried.
But if they're truly murderers, like that's an uncontestable
then
fact.
yeah, they should be put to death.
They should be put to death.
I do believe in the death penalty.
Wow. Okay, so here's the thing.
Wait, she wants to kill all. Yo, that's Pol Pot. Yo, welcome back, Pol Pot. Respect. She said, if you're a doctor, you're gonna die. Because guess what? You know what doctors do? They're around a lot of dead people. That's kind of suspicious. We should just fucking kill them dead. Which, by the way, also, the executioner, also dead. And then we execute the executioner because that's also murder. Therefore, we're killing everybody. We're not going to stop until every single person is dead. Respect.
Do you know what an IUD is?
Yeah.
So an IUD, an intrauterine device, in some circumstances,
I already know where you're gonna go with this.
allow for conception to occur.
Yeah.
But then it will implant. Then it will prevent the implantation of the now conceived zygote.
The purpose of the IUD
Can you
is
please
to
allow me to
prevent
finish?
implantation. If it leads to death,
Yeah.
then it's not. Then it didn't fulfill its purpose. It went beyond that.
That's a secondary purpose. So the main purpose of an IUD would be to prevent conception, but when that fails, the secondary purpose is to then prevent its implantation. So if a woman knows that sometimes IUDs will allow for conception to occur, then they kill that conceived zygote, and they still yet choose to be sexually active, then inevitably they conceive a zygote and it dies because the IUD.
I think that when people
under
have
your view, they're a
IUDs
murderer.
implanted, it is not for anything beyond just the prevention. It is not done for the murder of any kind of implanted zygotes.
Because it's a secondary purpose and function of the IUD. If a woman knows that, then she's agreeing to the culpability of possibly having her actions yield the death of another person. Okay, and under your view and hopefully mine, that would be murder, given that the person that she's killing through her actions by secondary order.
But that was not
is
the
valuable.
primary purpose of the IUD.
Well, if I buy a gun with the primary purpose of going hunting, but then one day I get really mad and I use it to kill my neighbor, okay, I'm still a murderer.
No,
if I
the
buy my
primary
car
purpose
for
of the
the
gun
primary
is
purpose
to
of
shoot. Your primary
better
purpose
example
is
is a car.
hunting. Your secondary purpose by that
A better example is a car.
argument was to shoot that
If I
person.
buy a car to get from point A to point B, but then one day I get drunk and I use it to like wipe out a family of 5, am I a murderer?
Yes.
Even though that wasn't the primary function of the car?
Yes,
Okay,
because
so
you
then even
use
though
that
killing a
car
zygote's
in
not
the
the
same way you
primary
use the
function
gun
of an
as a
IUD,
weapon. You use that
when it
car
does
as a
kill a
weapon.
zygote,
That was good. Got him.
under your view, it's murder.
But even the
This is where debate lording works, okay? Because she's actually got trapped. Why did she get trapped? Because she thought that she could have an actual debate. All of the other ladies, if you noticed, did not entertain any premises whatsoever. And if you don't entertain the premise and you just start landing a barrage of accusations and behave in that manner, then you're not really debating, and therefore you're not going to get fucking gotcha, right? She foolishly thought that she could entertain the conversation and immediately got trapped and immediately got gotcha.
the primary purpose of the car is for driving, you used it for something beyond that. Its secondary purpose was not to.
She just kept up with the old reliable, the nuh-uh. It's the best. Nuh-uh. No. No. Will not elaborate. No. That right there is the most successful method I've seen so far. Just go, no.
Be driven drunk and kill.
Well, the
5
secondary purpose of an IUD
secondary
is to kill a
purpose
zygote. But
doesn't-
listen, I think that ultimately the primary or secondary purpose argument is irrelevant, because what we should be evaluating
agree.
is, did a valuable life die, and is a person culpable for the termination of that valuable life? And if a valuable life died and a person is culpable for the termination of that
because
valuable
it was
life,
used only for its
wasn't
primary
justified,
purpose
then
of
it's murder.
preventing the pregnancy in the first place.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. You don't think in all scenarios when an individual terminates a valuable life unjustifiably so, and they are culpable for said termination, that they're a murderer? Well, then you're just completely redefining what murder even is by introducing the abstract nuance of this quote-unquote primary or secondary purpose
You were the
argument.
one who brought that up
At
in
the
the
end of the
first
day,
place.
the fact of the matter is, in many scenarios, women will get an IUD knowing that in many cases, the IUD will lead to the death of a conceived zygote. And
She won Lol, you're high. She takes time to listen. He interrupts every time. W girl. Guy or girl not listening to anything that's being said and simply responding to who's talking more to determine who's actually winning the argument.
they will know it will lead to that in many scenarios. Then they will still choose to be sexually active, and then the IUD will kill. Under your view, that would mean that that woman is culpable for murder. Therefore, under your view, that woman should be executed.
You kind of said a
We have
lot
to
there.
pause there. You've been voted out.
Okay.
If you would like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
I can't believe we've watched 7 minutes of this back and forth, and there hasn't even been one serious argument about why abortion should be legal or they should be illegal. I'm realizing now that because these are 15-minute brackets, right? So there's been like 8 minutes of talk and not a single point has been made in either direction. Even Dean hasn't been able to like actually get over the hump yet. Or is 20 minutes? Or okay, 13 minutes then.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi. Shannon, Dean, pleasure
Nice
to meet you.
So I want to know why you think that killing babies should be legal.
Of course, because I'm a brutalistic Satanist and I love the DNC and I'm the leader of Antifa. Listen, the reason why I think abortion should be legal is because I don't think that abortion is morally wrong. I think it's a permissible action. And because I think it's a permissible action, I therefore don't see any good reason to infringe on a woman's bodily autonomy in the legal prevention of her access to abortion. Therefore, it's a human rights violation.
So you don't understand that it's like killing, you don't think it's killing a human being?
No, I do.
And you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't
You
see
don't
anything
think that
morally
we
wrong
should
with it.
focus more on prevention?
That is like the wildest position to be like, yeah, it's murder and yeah, it should be allowed. That's beast mode, honestly. Honestly, beast mode. Don't know why he's going with that, but okay. Because I don't think it is, and neither do they. And the interesting conversation in that situation is to entertain that fantasy, the idea that they think it's murder, and then get them to admit that it's sometimes permissible to murder, right? Because very few people will say yes to certain positions, like certain edge cases, right? The overwhelming majority of third trimester abortions are out of medical necessity. It's usually never because like someone carried a pregnancy almost to term and then decided, oops, it's aborabo time. That's not how it goes. It's actually a pretty complicated medical procedure, right? So for that reason, when they start talking about like third trimester terminations, when the fetus might even have viability outside of the womb, when you start talking about that stuff and you bring up the real world examples of why that must take place and why offering any sort of legal hurdle in front of that actually can cause genuine bodily harm to the carrier, you show at least the other people watching, because the debate is a performance. The people that are watching are going to react a certain way. The other people that are watching are inevitably going to come to the conclusion that yes, it should be permissible. And the reason why I know that to be the case is because this conversation already took place. This was an established super precedent that they went back on with the Roe v. Wade decision. And then all of the Republicans that were agitating to get this across immediately turned around and voted against it, voted against restricting abortions, as a matter of fact, in almost every single fucking red state, with the exception of some where attorney generals decided to overturn the decision being made by ballot initiatives, Kentucky being one of those places. So that's it. If abortion is murder, then you're totally on board with certain kinds of murder. That's the reality. Most Republicans are, every single Democrat is, and therefore it's probably much easier for us to come to terms with the reality that no, abortion is not murder. Then there's also the additional restrictions that come into place that, again, create tremendous harm to the carrier, ectopic pregnancies being terminated and things of that nature, doctors too afraid to actually conduct this medical procedure as a consequence of possible criminal penalties and the like, have led to people dying in the United States of America. And on top of that, because the carrier has almost complete control over the existence of the fucking fetus, restricting abortion access doesn't actually stop abortions at all. It just creates an environment where people seek out alternative measures. And that's why back alley abortions start taking place, which once again is unbelievably harmful to the carrier. It's part of the reason why millions of women, due to back alley abortions, actually have lifelong medical complications after the back alley abortion that they end up getting. So yeah, it's a really stupid process designed by very stupid people. I didn't logic these people, by the way. I just gave them real life examples. I'm not using empirical evidence with the exception of the back alley abortion stuff. But like even then, I'm not delivering it as a actually kind of guy. Anyway, he's not saying it's murder. The fetus has to be a person to be murdered. He's saying it's a human, but not a person. So it's fine. He's a liberal. It's just, I don't know. I think it's unnecessarily complex. Okay, I get his angle. Basically, every pro-lifer is also pro-death penalty. Death penalty is their permissible murder. Abortion is his. Yeah, I think that's unnecessarily a strange way to argue that position. But hey, I mean, he's a great debater. So if that floats his boat, then he should keep pushing that line.
Preventable measures, because I
don't think it's murder, for the record. Or we all agree that it's permissible murder. And virtually every Republican and Democrat, regardless of their ideology, do agree. The ones that don't look insane. Like the famous Charlie Kirk moment, right? The famous Charlie Kirk moment where Charlie Kirk is straight up asked, like, if your daughter was raped, would you force her to carry that pregnancy to term? And he says yes. Even if in that moment you're morally consistent, the people that you're quote unquote morally consistent, you're performing as a morally consistent person, basically. The people that are reacting to that after the debate, during the debate, are not going to come to terms with that argument. They're going to look at you like you're a fucking crazy person. Like, there aren't that many people in civilized society, no matter where we are, that will actually agree with the concept of forcing a little girl, a minor that is a victim of rape, to carry a pregnancy to term. So you've lost. You might have won that battle technically in that moment, but you lost the war, right? So I'm fine with like conceding to a person in that regard. If someone is going to entertain that logical extreme because they want to appear as morally consistent, they're going to look horrible regardless. And that's what a debate is at the end of the day. It's a massive optics loss when you come to terms with that, when you say yes to that. His argument is so fucking bad, man. The point is personhood, not human genetic material. Fetuses don't have personhood because they don't have consciousness. Terrible optics laws. This is your brain on debate perv. The second consideration is the personal bodily autonomy. We can't force someone to give up their body and take risks against their will. We wouldn't force someone to give their kidney or even their blood against their will to save another. Yes.
To have an abortion.
Oh, well, I also disagree there. I do think that we should focus on preventable measures. In my optimal society, there's 0 abortions, okay? Not because we're forcing women to not get them, but rather because the conditions in which lead women to get them don't exist, such as poverty, financial instability, a lack of sexual education, the failure of contraceptives. In my ideal society, those things wouldn't exist.
Do you know that if a woman gets pregnant, she's not financially able to keep the baby and she doesn't want the baby, she could at least take Plan B?
Yeah. And I think that would be a good fact of sexual education to share with the world.
It's like
that
$20.
Plan B exists. Well, I mean, actually, Plan B is $55. There's off-brand versions that are $20. And I think that is a good piece of recommendation. But ultimately, if they don't take a Plan B or whatever like happens after the pregnancy, they should be able to access abortion. Hey, I want to ask you this question. Do you think that victims of should be able to access abortion?
No, because they could also take a morning after pill if they get. If I were to get, I would go take a morning after pill the very next day.
Wow. So you think that a victim would have an obligation to maintain a pregnancy? Is that because that if they were to like cessate or stop the pregnancy, the fetus would die? Okay, of course it is. So I want to ask you a question. Do you know who Max Irby is?
No.
So Max Irby is a 14-year-old guy, and he's in dire need of a stem cell transplant. And this is a true story. You could look it up. And his stem cell type is so incredibly rare that his father set up a quote-unquote fundraiser for his son, taking random DNA samples in from people across the globe. So far, they've collected 40 million samples, and there hasn't been one match. What this means is that there's probably only one match alive on the face of planet Earth that could provide stem cells to Max Irby to save his life. So let's hypothetically assume that you are the one and only match for Max Irby's stem cell type. Mm-hmm. And the government finds this out. Then the government forces you to provide your stem cells to Max Irby without your consent for 9 months, introducing many physical and mental complications. Do you think that'd be just?
Yeah, he's finally doing the we don't force people to, without their consent, to render medical aid to someone else like this.
No, because they shouldn't be able to force you to provide your bodily resources to another life, even if not providing your bodily resources would mean that other life dies. That's my position on victims of. They shouldn't be forced to provide domicile in their uterus and access to their bodily resources to the fetus, even if stopping the sustenance of those bodily resources to the fetus means the fetus dies. No difference than Max Irby.
This is a tough one for me because I have mixed feelings about it, obviously, because that's a horrible situation to be in. But I do, like I said earlier, morning after pill.
Yeah, the abortion conversation actually has like numerous very interesting hypotheticals that you can deploy depending on what like the ideological tendency of the opposition is. Like you can do the fucking castle doctrine for libertarians, you know what I mean? Like there are so many different ways, and all of them still ultimately prove that abortions should not be restricted. There's no good, reasonable, convincing argument to deny people medical access of this sort. It's just so stupid. Like none whatsoever. I've never encountered a reliable argument. The only thing that people can try to trap you with is what is life? what is personhood, like what is the meaning of life, like all of these different like spiritual terms, basically about like when does life begin? Does life begin at conception? Do fucking fetuses have a soul? That type of shit. That's it.
Well, could you respond to the argument
we
again?
have to pause there. You've been voted out.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you for the respectful dialogue.
By the way, I want to tell you I respect you a lot.
Well,
I
thank
saw
you.
when you cried for Charlie Kirk. You actually have a soul.
Have a good one.
Oh, got him. Oh no. Oh no. She actually brought that up as a positive. TikTok is gonna eat his ass alive for that one. Oh no. Dude, hey.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame.
Oh no. Oh no.
If you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2.
Like that lady didn't actually say that as a negative, by the way. That lady just straight up said that because she genuinely was like, oh, I'm so glad you cried when Charlie Kirk died. It shows me that you have a soul as opposed to these fucking godless libs. But that is not going to be read positively by the rest of the TikTok audience that he has.
Hello, I'm Georgia.
Georgia, pleasure to meet you.
They bully him on a stream because of that?
I welcome you. You support Trump.
We are Charlie.
Okay, she was about to start playing the piano. I bet that you were going to kill it, low key. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
We are Charlie Kirk.
Pretty impressive vocals, but those are now 2 bands back to back.
We are Charlie Kirk.
No
We
fucking
carry the flame.
No
We'll fight for the
I
gospel.
vetted your account.
Honor his name.
She has
We
posts
are Charlie
dating like 2 weeks back about how she's MAGA.
Courage, our own.
Photos of her fishing.
Together unbroken.
Photos
Dina
of her-
donated to you like 20 times.
He said
We
thank
are
you.
Charlie Kirk.
And you are banned. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Rosie?
We are Charlie Kirk.
And you are banned! Fuck, I can't hit that high note like you. Yes, Marilyn, load him up in the box. And you are also banned because I don't really want this shit today. Sing if you support Trump.
We are Charlie.
What the fuck? Dude, what is this, bro? What the fuck? He's got 3.2 million likes. That's awesome.
She's a fucking Trump supporter confirmed. Hey, welcome in. Do you support Trump, Rick?
We are Charlie Kirk.
It's funny every time.
On to the next guest, Brooke. This looks like a troll account.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known.
I'm gonna cry again. Trump supporters are in hiding today, folks.
Oh my god. Dude, she does not quit, dude. He knows deep down it's funny. It's like getting Rickrolled. It's the same tempo every time I'm weak. Stop silencing women's voices. Who is this person, bro? She's just cooking his ass, dude. Oh shit, she follows me. Oh no. Respect, by the way. That was awesome. Fuck it. Oh, you know what? That was, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck. Oh, wow. That was funny. Dude, I should do fucking more debates on stream. What the hell?
So that you work for a pro-life org?
Yes, I do.
Very, very
All right,
interesting.
let's talk about it.
Do you guys
So-
focus on like preventative means from...
Is the poster a Trump supporter? No, she's not a fucking Trump supporter. What Trump supporter would sing "We Are Charlie Kirk" sincerely, except for the initial Trump supporter who made the AI song? Ever since that song came out, it's only been us We are the ones who carry the flame. We are the ones who fight for the gospel. We are the ones who honor his name. No one else is honoring Charlie's name. Even Dean, who cried when Charlie Kirk died, is not carrying the fucking flame. Only we are carrying the motherfucking flame. Not Erica Kirk, us.
Pregnancy in the first place? Like, do you guys have like policy initiatives to like reduce financial instability or poverty in young women?
What abortion does is it incentivizes people to live in a promiscuous way that
yeah, dude. That's what it is. Yeah. Also, why is that bad? Why is that even bad? Oh my God, I fucking hate like old school trad cat style fucking social conservatives are so goddamn annoying.
increases the rates of
Yeah, sex is bad. It should only be done with your husband once to have a child and then never again.
Pregnancies that are not in a stable situation like marriage. And so I'm actually against contraception.
Being pro-contraceptive would save the lives of more innocent babies under your view because then there'd be less
killing an innocent
unwanted
human
pregnancies.
being is always wrong. Abortion kills an innocent human being. Therefore, abortion is always wrong.
Yeah, I reject P1.
And allowing abortion just reflects our overall decay as a society
pee.
when it comes to the way we view sexuality, marriage, and it just leads to a culture of death. When you have abortion, it leads to things like MAID in Canada. What abortion is we're allowing the government to have the authority to define when personhood begins because we're separating it from the moment of conception. And if it's not at the moment of conception, then the most powerful person gets to decide when it begins. And that's always subjective. And when more powerful people have that authority or allow themselves to have that authority to define when personhood begins, you have grave travesties like slavery. If it's a subjective line, then when does that begin? When does personhood begin? And when you say it doesn't begin at conception, it's actually what you're arguing is a very suspicious, mystical idea of when it does. And that sounds more superstitious than Christianity.
Well, thank you for your comments. About your syllogism, I'd reject P1. Don't think it's always wrong to kill an innocent human being.
To intentionally kill an innocent human being, you don't think it's always wrong to intentionally kill an innocent human being?
Like I've said
Why?
to the last 5 guests, I mean, we do that to brain dead patients all the time.
Okay, so that's to
And I would
withhold
like-
care from them
I would
that
like-
sustains their life.
Okay.
That's different than intentionally going there and killing them.
Okay, so then you're on board with the abortion pill, withholding the progesterone supplied through the umbilical cord that would sustain the life of the fetus.
I'm completely against the abortion pill.
But it's just withholding care that would sustain the fetus's life.
It's different though in nature because what we're
difference?
doing is what occurs in the uterus is solely for the service of the fetus. The uterus does not exist to serve the woman; they exist to serve the child. What abortion is it's just the actual destruction of that child.
I wanna ask you
It
a
reflects
question.
the destruction of our idea of parental duty.
I wanna ask you a
Parents
question.
have a duty to care for their children. What's your question?
My question is, let's just like envision a hypothetical of like a 9-year-old girl getting raped and impregnated, and we know that pregnancy is not going to kill her.
She's like, wow. She's like, whoa. I don't like you going there. She's connected abortion to slavery. No, I'm not rewinding. I actually have to go because I have to fly out, unfortunately. So I got to end it here. But this was a banger, and I do want to watch it. I do want to finish this.